You've reached the headquarters of the King's Road. Press 1 for accounting. Press 2 for sexy smooth jazz music. Press 3 for young lions. Of course, I'm your DM, Saucey, the sauciest of bosses. And with me are a team of young lions. Say hello, young lions.
Hello, young lions.
Hello, young lions.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming out for another episode of the show. Where we last left off, the crew had just commandeered a pirate ship, totally out of self-defense and self-preservation. Nothing questionable was done. A good friend of the team, by the name of Mr. Nix, Hardway member, was evacuated from the ship in an expedient manner and now rests at the bottom of the ocean. The team had some time to consider what they have done and also look towards the future and which territory they're going to be heading to next. So we pick up right in the middle of the action, and we're going to resort to the two men who seem to be the intellectual leaders of the group. Of course, I'm talking about Gator, the illusionary wizard, and Solomon Scribbles, the gnome bard. So, Mr. Solomon, where do we go next?
If I was going to throw in my 2 cents, I'd say we should actually take his advice and go to number 7.
Number 7. Oh, that's the one where he said he absolutely despises those people.
I've been to all the territories in the past. It ain't that bad. The people there, they're having a rough time. It happens everywhere. That's something we're all going to learn on this trip.
I'm good with that.
So we're going to take the long way around. And we're going to go to Territory 7 for a little bit of slat fighting.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight through and sail over the land.
Okay.
Bronson will carry us.
We believe the ship can do it.
You guys should have stole the Hardway's airship. That would have made it much easier.
Oh, maybe we'll upgrade later.
So Gator, just to confirm, is that where we're going?
Gator, you've been muted. If it's any consolation, if you can hear us, if you're there.
Well, that's a fine barrel of. Anyway, yes. Let's. Anyway, yeah, I'm behind the wheel. Mr. Bronson, weigh the anchor, and let's head off for territory number 7 for some slap fighting.
Hey, there we go. All right. So, just real quick, do we need to take a break? Is everybody good so far?
Yeah, I'm good for right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so that's Gator. Now we've got. Okay. Assuming everybody's going to want to take a long rest at this point.
Yes.
While we're on the boat. Because it's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, we should probably be. We'll be on the boat. Okay. So, a few things while we are traveling. So, it's going to be a long trip. Gator, you can tell it's about maybe a week's worth travel to get there. I mean, it's as far away as you can get on the boat, right? It's the farthest away, which is why Nick said save that for last. So it's going to take a while, but there will be plenty of time to get to know each other and rest up and just kind of marinate on everything. There's plenty of provisions on the boat. There are plenty of food, accommodations, stuff to do. So while Gator is going to be sailing most of the way, if you know, with some breaks provided by Rosa, Bronson, you are. Yeah, let's move to you. What tell us about what Bronson is going through right now. A lot has changed for him recently. This King's Road has been unexpected, and the level of violence has ticked up just a huge amount in the last couple days. So how is Bronson handling all this right now?
Well, with having an opportunity to actually be on the King's Road, not just as, the retinue, but as a competitor, he's now resolute that nothing will stand in his way of becoming the champion. It's not like bloodlust. It's not, fighting and killing because he enjoys it. It's this single solitary eye on the final prize and stopping at nothing to get it. Whatever obstacles get put in the way are cleared out the way that he knows how, and that is through brute force, sheer determination.
So why is winning the tournament so important to him?
He wants to go home, and that's the only thing in 5 years that he's found that would guarantee him the respect that would allow him to get back home and see the people that he wants to see.
And who are the people that he wants to see so badly?
He wants to see Allison Vane, who and I'll be happy to, we can break bread, and discuss this, as the group and everything. He's fairly open about it.
Okay.
He's been exiled out of his land. He was half noble, based on the fact that he was a bastard sired by an orc raider and his mom. So he was always he was always born to be on the fringe. And so then when he fell in love with this other noble family's daughter, that was about the straw that broke the camel's back. And they wanted to get married, but no one wanted to allow it. And then Bronson found out, and everybody found out, that Alicine was pregnant. And that was the kicker. He's gone. And so now it's been about finding a way to restore respect to my name and be able to claim actual nobility. And the way that I can do that is through the King's Road.
How long ago was that?
5 years.
5 years. So if she had the child would be 4 years old at this point, maybe 5.
Do you even know? Do you have a son? Do you have a daughter?
I don't know.
That is heartbreaking.
So when violence seems like it's the only tool in my toolbox, it's because I know what I have to do. There's no limit to what I would do to get back home.
After hearing that story at some point in time during this journey, Solomon would just add on a little bit at the end and these are the kinds of things that happen when the only tool you're allowed to use in your toolbox is violence.
Yep.
What you've
I don't want to be an evil man. I don't want to be a bad man, but I know what it'll take, and I know that people like the Hard Way plan on standing in our way at every chance, and I know that they won't get out of the way.
There was an honorable way to do this once upon a time. I'm very old.
Is there still an honorable way to do this?
Not this year.
Well, I think at least we can align on that. This doesn't have to be forever, but it's got to be the path that I tread right now.
So, with that said, this conversation is a similar conversation that's been had with each one of you. You've all got to know Bronson a little bit better and know that the violence isn't, it's not without provocation, right? There's a reason there, and it's targeted towards people who are less than innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made him much more sympathetic. That he's obviously well spoken, especially, well, I don't want to say especially for a half orc, but especially for anybody.
Yeah.
Is well spoken, is classically trained, is a hell of a fighter, although is a victim to his own rage at times, is still a strategic fighter with technique and precision, not a regular grunting caveman barbarian. He's complicated. He's
He's the definition of the noble savage.
that's right. He's got layers. He's like Shrek.
Yeah, I'm an onion.
That's right.
All right, like a Lord Greystoke.
I smell fun.
So whereas this quest originally was about Zinthral and using him to obtain a better position, it's kind of evolving a little bit now, right? Now there's a little more purpose there. And that's in addition to the purpose that's been stated by Gator and Solomon with their united cause, where they're trying to make things right and develop a system that's fair and is not corrupt. And Zinthral, how do you feel about all these developments where maybe you're not the superstar of the show anymore?
He's never cared to be the superstar, for sure. If there's somebody else that he shares the spotlight with, he's completely okay with that. He's not a one-man show.
Gotcha. So we're going to transition into a dream sequence. Woo!
Oh my god.
Zinthral.
Cue the Arthur dream sequence.
So Zinthral, who is prone to taking naps, has slept in almost every bed on the ship at this point. And on one particularly long night, has a very vivid dream. And in this dream, you find yourself outside of a quaint cottage, nestled somewhere deep in an idyllic countryside. And you stand outside the window, kind of like, in A Christmas Carol, where Scrooge looks back on the family of Tiny Tim, right? You look through the window, and you can see the flickering light of a hearth dancing on the walls. And you hear the familiar words, "I am a weary traveler in search of sheltered light." A woman's voice responds, "Take comfort from your toil and rest at my hearth." Inside sits a pregnant woman with features similar to your own, Zinthral. She, stoking the fire in front of her is a man in a blue mask, the same mask that you wear now. You recognize these two individuals as your father and your mother. So your father, who we know to be known as Virax. Is it Virax or Virax?
Virax.
Virax. So he shoots a confident smile to his wife, Belle. And he says, "I'm telling you, Belle, it's going to be a boy. A strong lad, just like his old man." Belle, sitting in a rocking chair, focusing on her knitting, chuckles back at Virax's certainty and says, "Oh, Virax, you're such a fool. It's a girl, and her name's going to be Ivory." Virax leans in, placing his hand gently on Belle's stomach. He says, "Let's see what this little fighter has to say about that." Suddenly, the baby inside Belle's womb responds with a series of kicks. And laughter fills the room as they marvel at the life growing inside her. Belle smiles and she says, "Oh, it looks like we have a feisty one, V, just like you." This very heartwarming moment is then suddenly broken up as the front door is shattered open, revealing armed guards and a dwarf. A well-known dwarf. Instantly, you identify him, although there's no way that you really could. The dwarf known by the name Helmswoggle. He leads a group, and he's an imposing figure despite his smaller stature than the rest of them. Helmswoggle focuses on Virax. "Virax, you're coming with us. You're under arrest." Virax is confused. He's in disbelief. But he remains calm so as not to endanger his pregnant wife or his unborn child. And then Belle tries to interject. "What crime has he committed? Who did he assault now? Did you get in a fight again?" Helmswoggle, with a cold, detached demeanor, reveals the shocking truth, and it sends shivers through the dream. Helmswoggle says, No, not assault, my lady. Treason. He's accused of treason against the Capitol and working for the Hearth Foundation. Virax thrashes wildly as Belle stands to her feet, but she's kept away from her husband by the guards. In Zinthral, you can only bang on the glass and scream, "Stop! Don't take him." And as you circle around the cottage to go to the front door, you're snapped wide awake into the hold of the pirate ship as you hear a crash from up above. And you wake up in a cold sweat. Snugglecup in the bed next to you also wakes up, props itself up, and looks directly at you. And then you realize that you are not where you believed yourself to be. You're on the ship, which we still have to rename the ship, but we'll get to that later. Okay, up above, the crashing noise we hear is Solomon and Bronson kicking open the door to the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
So, boom, you're finally in there.
I went to kick it, and Bronson kicked it over my head at an angle where I couldn't see it behind me, so I feel like I kicked it open.
And I'm like, wow, nice job.
That would be right there on the map. And this little orange box that you see on the map, I can't move it, but it's supposed to be covering these barrels over there. So here's what you see in the room. It's the captain quarters, and the furniture in there and the equipment really exude an aura of authority as well as charm. There are trophies from the sea and from the ring, each telling their own story of daring adventures and foes defeated. Both of you, give me an investigation check.
Natural 20
Hey.
with no modifiers. This is the only way I can do well on that.
Okay, Solomon?
I got a 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so pretty quickly you're able to track down two items of great value. And the first item that you find, this would be Bronson. The first item you find is a contender belt. So this is much like the belt that was seen at the Arena Mayor. It is
Nice.
a belt with 7 slots for the badges.
Are any filled?
Yes, they are filled already, but they are not this year's badges. They are badges from a previous year. So the badges that both Zinthral and Bronson received in Lucha Lucha Town were on a ribbon. They were like a gold medal, right? But they can be affixed in the slots of this belt. So you have found one of those. But Solomon, upon looking further, you find an item that you don't know what it is, but you're pretty sure that it has a magical property to it. And what it looks like is an elastic band with tassels hanging off of it. And there's a pair of them.
All right. Do they look like they're more for head or wrist?
They would be larger than a wrist, so more like a bicep.
Okay. All right. An armband. Tassel-y armbands.
That's right.
Fun. It looks like. Does it look like athletic equipment?
Yeah. Yes.
Sweet.
Also in the room.
Okay.
Also in the room is a map table, which is cluttered with navigational charts and weights holding down a map of the kingdom, similar map as to what we already saw. And in the middle of that map, holding it down, is a flintlock pistol, laying ready for action, standing sentinel, guarding the room.
Oh, wait, a gun on a table is guarding the room? Is it pointed at us?
It's not pointed directly at you, no.
All right. Can I pick it up?
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right. It's loaded?
Well, flintlock pistols are rare, right? You tell me, is that a weapon that Solomon would have used before?
Well, I've been around for a long time and I've been a lot of places. I probably never used one, but I might have seen one.
So it doesn't appear like it's loaded, but you do find the components to load it, including the ball bearings and the gunpowder, which would be used to fire it. So you've got the complete kit there, although it's not preloaded.
Well, I'll take the opportunity to poll the crew. Does anybody want a gun?
Yes.
I hold up my
Hold
finger
on to it,
pistols
my
and I say
friend.
not necessary.
Who's got the best aim, you think?
I will pass.
I'm little, so it might honestly, kick me off my feet.
Maybe you can strap it
A
to Snuggle
blunderbuss
Cup.
for you.
Snuggle Cup will take it for sure.
Homie strapped now.
Yeah, so who said they wanted the gun? Sorry.
Honestly, you should probably hold on to it. If it's a flintlock pistol for a standard sized person, it probably would work pretty well as a blunderbuss for you.
Yeah, I don't think I can effectively operate this weapon.
Okay, elsewhere.
I'll hold on to it, or we can give it to Gator. I mean, what's the worst he could do? Roll ones with it.
How
It's
about
not
we
like
toss
giving a
in
firearm to Gator would be a
in
bad
the
idea.
old bag?
Wouldn't it just backfire on him then?
Yeah. I mean, or
Yeah.
hit us.
So we can put it in the bag of holding and decide later who to give it to, or you can hand it out now.
At,
Let it roll around in the bag.
at some point in
I mean-
time during this journey, I put on the magic underpants.
Well,
Even
we
if they're
will.
bunchy.
We'll assume that you put those on before this endeavor, and that they magically resize to fit you perfectly.
Hey!
So no modification needed.
I was prepared to live with bunchy tights.
And
Chafing.
we said before that they give you advantage on persuasion rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, elsewhere in the room, there's an unmade bed with sheets rumpled up in the aftermath of some type of restless slumber. There's also a brazier hanging from one of the bedposts, hinting of warmth shared on a cold, starlit night at sea. And then next to the bed, where this yellow box should be, and I can't seem to get it there, is a decorative bench adorned with gnomish runes, offering a place for guests to sit and converse. Its polished surface gleams with a soft glow of lantern light.
It's got gnomish runes on it. What does the bench say?
So written in gnomish, and who can read gnomish?
I can.
Not me.
Anybody else?
Nope. I know Dwarvish, but not
I
that.
can.
You can.
Yes.
It says, oh shoot, I didn't write it down. Okay, it says blood is the key.
Oh, that's an ominous bench.
How Clive Barker of you.
If only we had someone that could have given us a little bit of blood.
Ring out Bronson's hair. He's probably got some in it.
You said blood is the key, is what it says?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll prick my hand on my greatsword
Yep.
and then put my hand down on the chest.
All right,
Or
so
the table.
take a point of damage.
Yep.
And now the bench is bloody, but there are no other changes to
Worth a
the
shot.
room or to the bench itself.
Maybe it's not my blood at once. I look over, I offer my greatsword.
Oh, you're saying it would like some gnome blood, is what you're saying. Oh, all right. Yeah, let's just bleed on this creepy gnome desk.
So as you're
You know, I come from wily people, all right?
Just
I
a
wonder-
little bit of blood.
And maybe, my first thought is that maybe putting blood on the bench doesn't help at all. It seems so inviting to sit down and have a conversation on. Maybe it's cursed so that you can never get up unless you bleed on it. Like,
I'm all right.
so, all right, I'll pull out my own dagger. I have a dagger. And I'll prick myself out the finger as small as I can. I'll touch the runes. Blood is the key. I will trace the gnomish rune for key in my blood.
So take a point of damage, and now it's real bloody. Now there's all kinds of blood. You guys have just became blood brothers.
Yeah. We didn't use enough. Let's do it again.
Well, I think I used enough of my special magical gnome blood, which, as you know, is inherently magical. So if it were intended to do something, it would have. Let's just, you know what? Is there any loose parchment around? And a pen?
Yes, there is a desk with parchment and a pen.
I just write a note in big letters that says "Do not sit," and I put it on the bench.
I mean, who's going to want to sit in all that blood?
Yep,
I
it's
think we
bloody
ordered it
bench.
pretty
Don't
well.
sit on it.
We just stick it in the blood.
All right, I do have a graphic for you, so this might help out a little bit. That's not it.
Oh, we have to open our eyes and look at it. Oh.
There we go. So there's your bench. There are, well, we're going to say that there are runes there. And now the seat is all bloody. So now it's a...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have just wiped my hand all over the seat. I would have been going for the runes at least.
Okay, I gotcha. It's a gusher. He's...
Just bleeding all over the captains.
Is there anything else that could be gleaned from this bench? I suppose, like a history. Do I recognize the make of this bench?
Sure. So give me an investigation check.
12.
Okay, right. So as you look around the room trying to figure out what else is there to this bench, you see two things that jump out at you. The first thing that seems odd is the nautical wheel on the wall. And the second thing is a black case that's hidden behind the bench. It is a crate. It is painted black, and it's got white skulls and white rattlesnakes on it. It is already opened. And roll me a d12.
Does it say, is it rattling?
This is how many snakes pop out.
You want to shake it?
Well, no, you say it was open, but it was also, it had rattlesnake insignia on it. Is there rattling? I rolled a d12.
No.
And if it's what they just said it was, I did in fact roll a 12, so...
You rolled a 12?
So many snakes!
Okay, great. So you open it up, and what you find is that there are 12 cans in there, and they are all labeled whoop ass.
Hell yeah.
So, do I know what whoop ass is? Is this like juice?
It looks like alcohol, like beer.
Oh. Hey, Bronson, you want to open up a can of whoop ass?
Always, brother.
I'll toss one too.
Clink.
Yeah, I find a 12 pack. I go put it in the common area.
So these are going to act as minor health potions.
Oh, well, let's not drink these now.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's save these for a celebration.
So we're going to expend one to them, right? As you open it up and try it out, and immediately you feel like, oh, this is not just like regular stuff. So drinking one of these will restore 2d4 plus 2 hit points. 2d4 plus 2. So you guys have 11 of those in this crate, this black crate with white skulls and white rattlesnakes on it.
Oh, man. That
They
was the
probably
best
just
12 I ever rolled on a D12.
Yeah, that's normally
2d4
reserved
plus
for,
what?
like,
I'm just making sure I write this down.
2d4 plus 2.
2. Fantastic. Well, this will come in super handy if we're ever jumped by Hardway and set on fire again. This will just coming out pretty good.
Rosa will start handing them out to Hardway folks. Here you go. Thanks for coming.
I mean, don't come down on Rosa for any of that whatsoever. She was doing what she believed was right, which I totally respect. And honestly, in a healer, that's what you want to see. She saw somebody who was taking wounds. She tried to heal him. If we were taking wounds, she's going to heal us, whether she's pissed off at us or not. That's what that says to me. So, at the very minimum, you know, don't give her a hard time or even ingratiate yourself if you can. We would like to keep this person on our good side. They are the key to a vast amount of resources.
I think you're going to be my moral compass on this trip.
Fantastic. That's why I'm here. This is what I do every year. I find young people who need guidance, and I take them as far as I can until they inevitably fail. But I got good feelings this year.
We're going to ride this until the wheels fall off.
So what else would we like to do in here?
Can we take a look at that wheel on the wall?
Sure. So
lead on that.
So the wheel itself is not just adhered to the wall. It's loose. It can be spun.
Does it feel okay? So like, I want to move it just a little bit. Does it feel like it's like clicking, like a combination lock?
There's some tension to it.
All right, let's give it a little spin.
Okay, so
Slowly
as
spinning
you
it.
spin it, you hear clunk, and there's a noise from the bottom side of the bench.
Do you want to take a look at that, or do you want me to?
Well, it came from underneath the bench. This bench is 5 times my size.
Does it sound like it was a component of the bench that clicked, or was it from under?
It sounded like a thump or something from under the bench, like a mechanical thump.
Let's
You
move
lift
the bench.
the bench,
Yeah.
and I'll take a little peek.
There you go.
So as you go to move the bench, you notice the front panel is now loose and can be folded open. And as you fold it down, you notice there are 3 things inside of the bench. There are 2 bags, and there is a long a chest is the best way to put it, but it's lengthy. Right, it's more like rectangle shaped.
Like a guitar case.
Starting to feel like
sure.
It's my birthday. Let's open all the presents.
All right, which
It is
one?
Christmas.
There's a bag on the left, a bag on the right, and the crate in the middle, for lack of a better
Always
word.
save the best present for last. Let's start with the bag on the left.
Bag on the left, you open it up, and there are 65 gold pieces in there.
Yeah. And the bag on the right?
The bag on the right is full of metal chips that are different colors. On one side is a dragon, and on the other side is are numbers in Gnomish. So colored chips with a dragon on one side and numbers on the other.
What, do I recognize what these chips are for or from?
Hey, poker chips.
Roll history.
You know what number is right next to 20? The 2. So that would be a 5.
So nope, you don't recognize that. You do recognize the numbers are Gnomish writing.
Yeah.
So, you
this
just
must be
noticed
from a Gnomish game I've never heard of. Honestly, I wasn't raised in a predominantly Gnomish community.
So what
It's
you
really
can
showing I don't know much about my roots.
here's what you notice about the chips is that there are 7 color chips. There are dragons on the back of each chip, and there are 7 numbers on the chips. So, for instance, the red chips. There's a red with a 1. There's a red with a 2. There's a red with a 3.
And
And
it's like
the
2
same.
suits, 1 through 7.
That's right, and there are the same for each color, and but there's nothing else that you recognize about the chips.
Might have something to do with some sort of game I'm not familiar with.
Have I ever seen this game before?
Roll history.
You said there was 65
Natural 20,
gold.
so 22.
Whoa.
No, this doesn't appear to be any sort of game, but the dragon,
It's like casino chips that I would recognize.
yeah, they are kind of like casino chips, but they're metal, so they're heavy, right? Each of the dragons are a little bit different from each other, but all the red dragons look one way, and all the green dragons look one way, and that's it. But you can't make any sense of what it is. So you move on to the crate that's in the middle, and then it all makes sense because the crate in the middle has 7 circular slots on the top of it, but no other type of locking mechanism or anything like that.
Interesting. So it's the way to input the combination.
I see it now. It's not a game. All right. Can I expect anything about this? Let's see. Now that I know that there's this incredibly complex, sequence involved in opening this incredible chest. Is there, let's see, I'm finding the words. I'd like to see if it'll do anything if we get it wrong.
So you're just going to put 7 random chips in the slots?
No, I'd like to discern before doing anything with it if it may do something hostile.
Got any
Uh,
little holes
oh,
where
you're
it
gonna
should
s-
come out or
time.
something like that.
You're
No,
searching
I
for
would check it
traps.
for traps.
Okay. Yeah, give me, let's see, what do we roll for a check for traps? Investigation, maybe?
Sure. Perception. A lot of what I got is just a +3 bonus. I got 12.
12. No, it doesn't appear to be booby trapped in any way. There's nothing attached to it. The box
Will
itself.
it come out?
The box
Like,
itself.
can you move it?
It will come out, and as you pull it out, you can feel that there's something inside of it.
Oh, yeah. You said it's long. Is it like big sword long?
No, it's let's say it's maybe 2 feet long, maybe a foot deep.
All right.
Decent briefcase.
Interesting. Does anybody want to play with a puzzle?
Well, let's look around. See
There
if
could be clues.
yeah, see
Yeah.
if there's anything written down anywhere
It's
that
a
has any numbers on it.
complicated combination, and these hardware folks are not the brightest. You're absolutely right. First, I'd like to inspect the bench. Blood is the key. That might be relevant. Is there anything like carved into the bench on the underside of the bench combo?
Would you like somebody to help lift up that bench for you while you look underneath the bottom of it?
Yeah. I
All
want to
right.
know where all the stuff like opened up from and see the insides.
Bronson, give me a strength check.
22.
So you are able to lift it up. You don't see any mechanical attachment to it. So Solomon, you can infer that there's some type of magnetic lock or runic lock or something like that. That is the mechanism for the unit, but you don't see any actual writing on the underside of it.
No, Andy. Yeah. Let's keep looking around. Find this combination. This is turning into a mystery.
All right, so give me the investigation check again. Anybody in the room? Who else is in the room, by the way?
Anybody come wandering in?
Well, you had
I mean,
that
I
flintlock
know
The
pistol.
wheel, so no.
You were
Zinthral-
offering that pistol to everybody. So
Zinthral's trying his.
Oh yeah, so I wandered around like we found a gun. It's getting interesting over there. Anybody want to come check this out? We're
Just
finding
hold it
a
with
lot
like
of
his
stuff.
thumb and index finger just out as far as he can. He's like, anybody want a gun?
just spinning it around.
Yeah, this scares me.
So
Just updates.
any
Yeah, I think at this point, so if it comes out of the bench, it would it would stand a reason that we could bring it out into the main area of the
Sure.
of the mid deck and have everybody kind of take a look at it. And,
yeah, there is there's a large map table in the middle of the room. You can sit it on that, and that's kind of a central location for everybody.
Sure,
I mean,
that's
would
fine.
an identify spell help? Maybe with the box?
Perhaps that could be useful.
So you place it on the map, and you're all standing around this map. Identify. Yeah, if you use the identify spell, it'll tell you that there. Let's see. I want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
Okay, so identify says you learn if it you learn if it's a magic item what its properties are, how to use them, whether it's okay. So it's actually not magical. The box itself is not magical, but you can infer that there is some type of magnetic locking mechanism where the slots are. So if you were to line up the right metals with the magnets, that would unlock the lock. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of figuring out which chips to put in those slots. And in which order.
00001.
From that description, could we assume that there'd be a magnetic reaction to the correct chip?
No. No, I think that's...
What are your guesses? Like incrementally, we'll know the right ones as we go, rather than having to get the full combination to have any reaction.
Yeah.
And no, it's an all or nothing type situation.
Yeah, we gotta find the combo first, then, or get somebody who can pick locks.
I have an analytical brain, so I say we start at all red, and then we switch out the first one.
Okay, so you've got all red chips. They have the same dragon on the back, and they have numbered 1 through 7 on the front. In which order do you want to put them in?
I think the answer is 1 through 7.
1 through 7. Okay, so you line them up 1 through 7, all red. Nothing happens.
All right. Now we do all blue.
Hold on, how many possible combinations are there in a 7-digit?
If anybody has any better ideas.
Can I channel divinity? Would that help at all?
Let's see. What does channel divinity do?
Yes,
as an action, you choose one skill
God
or
help
tool. 10 minutes, you have proficiency with the chosen skill or tool.
I mean,
don't
there's
know
not
if that
really a
would-
proficiency here. It's just a combination lock, right?
Okay.
I pull Nyx's legs out of the water, half eaten by sharks. And I said, he called these lockpicks.
All right, everybody, tear this place apart. We gotta find the combination.
All right, everybody, give me an investigation check.
In the room, or
Yeah, in the room.
15.
Aha! I got a natural 20 this time.
There you go.
23. 1, 2, 3
Ew.
total.
Natural 1.
Oh, all right. Rosa does not have a clue. You flustered. I can't figure it out.
Was it magical?
All right, so this is on me a little bit. I should have done a better job with this map, but what you are able to infer is that the numbers and the colors on the map coincide with the numbers and the colors on the chips. The problem is that I didn't change the colors to match the colors of the rainbow. So there's 2 greens on this map, number 6 and number 4, and number 4 should have been like a purple. Anyway,
That's fine. Ooh, quick question. Does is there a particular order or sequence to the badges, the older badges that are in the belt that we found in here?
as a matter of fact, there is a sequence, and they are 1 through 7. In addition to that, you can see that there are some colors associated with those badges as well in the background. So, for instance, number 1 is would be pink. Number 2 has a motif of a little bit of orange splashed in the background. Number 3 has a little bit of blue in the background. So, checks out with.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Yeah, can I match those colors up in that order?
Yeah. All right, so as soon as you match up those chips with the colors and the numbers to match the map, then you hear a click, and then the lid releases a little bit. And inside, you guys want to guess what's on the inside of it?
Is it a note that says the real treasure was the friends you made along the way.
I was gonna say a drawing of a middle finger, but
Right.
We're about to solve the escape room, everyone.
Inside is another box with a lock on it, and a burlap sack that's tied at the top.
More presents.
Let's open the sack.
Yep.
Okay, when you open the sack, you look inside. Thumbtacks. Hundreds of thumbtacks.
Oh,
Excellent.
This could come in handy. Can't lie. Cow shops are great.
And
And
the box itself, upon further investigation, it's a fancy box that's got it's a gold box which has got a lot of stylized carvings on all sides of it, including grooves that run from the edges to the center of the lid. And at the very center is a cup with a pinhole in the bottom of it.
Yeah, this was the blood part. We just jumped the gun on it.
all right, big, tough, lots of
Yeah.
blood guy.
Let's do it.
After you.
I use the mechanism to bleed myself and fill it with blood.
What mechanism?
The you said it had a sharp section in the center, or
Well, it's
if
got
not, I'm going to use the thumbtacks to do it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't say that it had a sharp point in the center, but
Okay.
it does. I actually wrote that down and just forgot to read it. But yeah, it does. It has a sharp point on the box itself and the cup there, so you can prick your finger on that sharp point, take a point of damage,
Yep.
and you can squeeze a couple drops into the box. At that point, the box it starts to illuminate a little bit and kind of flash through the grooves, and then it opens up. And who's holding the box at this point?
Me.
The bleeder.
When you open up the box, all you see inside is a sock with a face drawn on it.
Fantastic.
oh,
More underwear.
Yep. I pull it out. Is there anything inside the sock?
Nope,
Okay, just the sock.
just the
The
sock.
happy son.
Does the sock seem of fine craftsmanship?
No, it doesn't.
Gross.
Now we could use that ability to identify.
Yeah.
If
Use
you'd be
this
so
magic.
willing.
Rosa?
I'm sorry. What?
They're asking if you will
Can
be
you
as
cast
kind to
Identify?
use another identify spell.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay,
We
so
found a happy sock.
this is what we're calling a commissioner's sock. When worn on your hand, the sock can speak with +1 intimidation. And it also provides you the ability to use a claw attack called a mandible claw, which can deal which can deal psychic damage and knock the target prone.
I've never wanted a magic item so much in my life.
yeah.
You're gonna be the king of undergarments.
Yes, cast
You're like
underwear.
the Voltron of.
Yeah.
It's a sock puppet.
So
That's intimidating.
So the catch here is that you have to grapple a target to use the strike.
It's not the sock of Cobra. It's just
Even if I can't ever accomplish that, it'll be worth it just to speak in a different voice and make an intimidating puppet. Speak to
I always
look at me on the hard way.
I always wondered if Mr. Sacco was related to Sifl and Ali.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah, definitely. So would you like to try the sock on your arm? Give it a test drive?
Nobody minds.
All right, so you pull the sock
Go
on
for
your
it.
arm, and you put your fingers in the head of it, and they snap around, and the eyes look right at you, and it starts speaking a language which you've never heard before and don't understand.
It's
But
English.
your hand is speaking on its own in a higher pitched voice.
Can we hear this?
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing. You're all.
Would I recognize the language at all?
What languages do you know?
Let me pull those up again. Here we go. Common, Halfling, Dwarvish, Orc, and Gnomish.
Give me a history check.
Okay. I need a different die. Jeez. Let me check one thing here.
Do you have
No,
lucky?
that's only. Actually. Oh, it is. Yeah. I can re-roll and must use a new saving throw. Thank you for reminding me. I
Yeah,
have
halfling
the-
luck, man.
Yep. All right. Let's. Nope. We're putting that die down. We're gonna pick up a different one. All right. I'm sorry. It was a I already lost what it was.
History.
Is it a history check?
Well, that's what we said.
It is now.
Oh, that's a lot better. 18, 21 overall.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. So you don't know the language, but you do recognize it as Abyssal.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
You know
It's in a high-pitched voice, so it's like...
Yeah. It's very unsettling.
Hey, Solomon, you might want to take that off. Take it off your hand, dude.
Does this make me scarier?
Yes, it does.
A little. Speaking of Abyssal.
Does it ever stop?
Oh yeah, it does. It has said something to you and is waiting for a response, but you have no idea what it's asking for.
Yes, I will say... I sensed that it was trying to communicate with me. Hello, happy sack.
How about a roll a persuasion check.
At advantage. Which is really good.
I just had a terrible idea. Can we put this on Snugglecup Face Ripper's tail?
18. Ooh.
No.
I'm gonna have to say no.
Just have this demon tail talking Abyssal the entire time this cat is following us. Oh, God.
18 persuasion.
That's pretty good. You're having a real hard time communicating with the demonic sock, but this is something that I'm sure that you'll figure out later on.
Can you
Can I take it off?
Yeah, it comes right off.
Oh, all right. That's fantastic. I won't wear it all the time. Obviously, it's a sock hand. But you know what? If I really feel the need to yell at somebody, boy, I'm pulling out my happy sock.
So at this point, you hear another large crash from up above. And who's steering the ship at this point?
Gator!
Damn it! Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
a really big wave.
So everybody runs up to check on Gator, and what you notice is that the seas have picked up, and it is the storm is coming in, and Gator is, he is white knuckling this wheel at this point. Like this is, he's a little uncomfortable in this kind of weather, right? It's not hurricane force winds, but it's something's going to blow through here, and it's going to be nasty. So, Gator, would you like to give the crew instructions?
Orders, Captain?
Batten down the hatches. Swab the poop deck. I want my mommy, Mr. Squidward.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna follow instructions as best as possible.
Bronson, you're stronger than me. Grab this wheel.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I will help by cheering everyone on. You get a bardic inspiration. You.
Ooh.
Hooray!
All right, so who is steering the ship?
Apparently Bronson now.
Okay, Bronson.
Has the wheel.
Let's see. What do we want to roll to try to navigate this storm? Would
I'm
it
gonna
be
give an inspiration to Bronson, Zinthral, and Gator.
I'm just trying to hold the wheel straight right now.
Tell you what, we will let you roll survival.
All right.
Sounds about right.
16.
16. Yeah, so you're managing to navigate this thing. The seas are getting rough, so it's getting real choppy, right? Everybody give me a Constitution save.
Oh Lord.
Oh. Save, you say.
15.
16.
Oh, I got just a wonderful 2.
A 2.
12.
12
I
from
managed
Rosa.
an 8.
Yes.
You managed an 8. Okay, so the 2... Oh, that's the wrong.
Oscar's back.
Green.
You guys wish.
Rip Oscar.
So the 2, that was... Who was the 2? Was that Rosa?
That was Solomon.
Solomon. Okay, Solomon. Yeah, so you're gonna Ralph. So Solomon has seasickness now. Roll a d4.
1.
Okay, so take 1
No.
point of damage.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a D20 for a second, and I was like, oh.
So it's going to be 1 point of damage, and let's see, you're going to be basically immobilized.
Yeah. I just. Oh, this happens every time the seas get rough.
It was probably the sock that did it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a little smelly.
All right, so now we're in the thick of the storm, eye of the storm here. Bronson, go ahead and roll survival again. Gator, are you going to assist him in any way?
I sure hope so. I don't think I have survival if that's what we're rolling, though.
Does
so
anybody else have survival? And
I have sleight of hand. Does that help at all?
And Rosa, would you like to use your knowledge of the ages?
I was gonna say I can go ahead and do that since, at least for 10 minutes.
Yep, so let's roll survival with advantage.
If she is going to have nautical knowledge at that point, well, the wheel is still a problem since she is tiny.
Well, right. Bronson is manning the wheel with...
I got a 5.
Oh, that's not good.
That's with advantage.
You want me to do the roll?
Yeah, the other was a 4.
Oof. All right, so now the ship has turned sideways, whereas you were going head on into the waves before. Now you've turned sideways, and there's a rogue wave coming in. So
oh, Lord.
Let's roll survival with advantage again.
That's
Bronson.
much better. That's at least a 15.
Use your bardic inspiration dice.
Yep. That's oh, what do I get for that?
D6.
A d6.
Add a d6? All right, hold on.
You need to roll a 7 on that D6.
6. I rolled a 6.
Hey.
Oh, so that's over, what, 21? 20?
Yeah, 21.
21. So you right the ship, head on into the rogue wave, and it's up, and Solomon, you're just puking your brains out, bud. Like, it's...
That's why I inspired everybody first.
It's bardic inspiration instead of barfing.
Yeah.
So you break through the wave, and you come out the other side, and now you're going the last little bit of storm here. Give me one more survival roll with inspiration with advantage.
That is a 12.
And that's enough to clear through. So, fantastic. You guys made it through the storm. The worst part is over. Everything is great. So, Solomon, you're finally starting to regain your composure. And then finally, we hear one more loud thump on the pirate ship. And this one is different from the rest of them, right? And here we go.
Goddamn Krakens.
Oh no, this overhead view is concerning.
Let's see here.
I'll be on the crow's nest if you need me.
Nyx climbs out from the back. I knew it.
There we
Oh
go.
no, it's a hentai.
So a tentacle comes up in front of the ship. Everybody is on the ship, so I'm going to reveal your tokens. Please place your token where it should be. Assuming that I gave everybody the right to do that.
We are in the wrong kind of manga now.
I'm vomiting in the corner.
Nope, I can't
over
move.
here.
I got you on the wrong layer. There we go.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. Okay.
And Snug is eating my vomit.
Oh,
Ew.
And we
That's
had
what animals do.
I know. I have a cat.
your friend Nyx is not going to be needed, so we can get rid of him. Okay. So the tentacle reaches up. Everybody roll initiative.
Watching me get a 2.
10.
That is hilarious. I was right.
You got a 2
I
total.
rolled a natural
No,
20
I
again.
rolled a 2, 5 in total.
Woof.
15.
15 for Rosa. 10 for Bronson.
14.
Gator 14. Solomon.
22 with a natural 20.
Okay.
I honestly have no idea what to do against tentacle on the the first turn.
You see a tentacle rise up from the ship, and then in the distance, you see what it's attached to. And oh, where'd it go? Oh, that's not right. It vanished. Son of a gun. Okay, bear with me for a minute. We're gonna bring it back. There he is. He's a little guy. Come on, get bigger.
Don't provoke the octopus, kids.
There he is.
Oh,
And it is
God.
more or less an octopus with a horseshoe crab type helmet on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And that's going to be where we're going to call it for tonight.
Oh.
Yep. So we're gonna leave it right here before we get into combat.
I cast calamari.
What is that?
If he doesn't yell Yowza,
Ah.
Yeah. So that's gonna call it for tonight. So great job. You got Nyx off the boat. You did a thorough search of the boat. You navigated this thing. We're on the way to Territory 5, I believe it was, for a little bit of slap fighting.
7.
Was it 7?
Yeah, 7's the slap fighters.
Yeah. So we're going to go up there. It's going to be great. And, yeah, so until next time, this has been Kings Road Young Lions. These have been the Young Lions. I've been Saucey. Thanks for coming around. We'll see you again down the road.
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, congratulations. If you're still listening, that means you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks for coming by and listening to this edition of Kings Road Young Lions. If you like what you've heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see on the next episode. For more great content from This Is Awesome Promotions, check out the YouTube channel, check out the Twitch channel, check us out on Twitter at TIA Promotions. Thanks again for coming around, and we'll see you next time down on the King's Road.